All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investors Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right, good. You're still sleeping from the last show, really? Are you still asleep? Wake up. Wake up. We're on now.
We're on. Okay.
We're on now. We're on.
Hello! And welcome to the Larry Steinhouse. You did your intro yet?
No, I was waiting for you to stop snoring.
You do it. Okay.
Okay. Hey, welcome. I say, wait, here it is. Good afternoon and welcome to the Larry Steinhouse Show. We are broadcasting live from Investor Schooling headquarters right here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I am Larry Steinhouse, and I am the CEO of Investor Schooling. And I'm here to make financial education fun and accessible to everyone, including you.
Me?
You think anybody woke up yet?
I think so.
And we have a tough hour. You know, we're 1 to 3, right? Usually that's around nap time for the people who listen to PHT. And then they have to have the intro that we have. You know, the show that's before us is kind of slow. But hey, what are you going to do? All right, on this show, we discover several ways of making more money. We concentrate on real estate investing, stock option trading, the stock market, and how to maximize your retirement funds. You can call us anytime during the show at 855-939-1137.
What are you doing?
Oh, that's your phone number. That's your job.
I'm here.
Do it.
Exactly. It's like people think I'm sick or something.
Well, do it then.
That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. Call us at 855-939-1137.
What's that number again?
I think it's 855-939-1137.
And what can they, if they call that number, what could they discuss?
They can, for example, call and ask us where Debbie is.
Well, they can do that too. They can call and say, "Where's Debbie?"
Where's Debbie?
Let's keep that a secret.
They can also, let's keep it a secret.
For just a little while.
Sure.
Okay, we'll keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Right,
she's alive, by the way. All the people with the.
Well, now you just ruined it. You would have had all these people thinking that we did something to her.
No, and we'll release her from the cage later.
All right. So, by the way, we're also live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And please leave comments. We already have your number one fan has already said hi. Kimmy's online saying hi. I'm also here with Dr. Deb, who's not here.
No, so you should not read that.
I should not say I'm here with Dr. Deb?
No. You said Dr. Omri. Yeah, but I don't have
here with Omri.
Yeah.
Omri Morad, known as the immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Deb is not here today.
And she's not an immigrant.
And I was going to explain why she wasn't here today.
Okay.
But now I'm not going to.
Okay, good.
Because I don't think we should. My phone's ringing.
Okay, good. Is it a tenant?
Important. Probably a tenant, yeah.
Is it a tenant?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
Anyway, the Larry Steinhouse Show is brought to you by Investor Schooling. At Investor Schooling, we teach you things about money I'll bet you never knew. We focus on practical learning, and we will equip you with real-world skills in real estate investing, stock options, tax savings tips, and the secrets to financial freedom.
Yes.
Our headquarters are right here in Bucks County, but our online courses teach eager investors all over the country. You can RSVP right now for a free class at
investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
Cool. All right. You ready now?
It's because of all the people that for some reason call and say it's investors schooling.
No, or investor school, which is not. It's investor schooling.
Investorschooling.com.
Schooling, right.
Yes,
schooling.
Correct.
Nobody gets that right. They call it investor school. It's like, no, it's investor schooling.
It's completely not. I agree.
So, Omri.
Talk to me.
What's going on with you, man?
I'm good.
What, I haven't spoken to you in, a couple hours.
Yeah.
No, since yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And, I know you've been calming down a little bit. He's always he's always on edge.
I'm trying, yeah.
And
not on
down.
edge. Yeah, right. I'm trying. I since the two storms we experienced in Florida, I focused very much on our mobile home park. And things are 95% the way I want them to be.
Great.
They are 95% the way I want them to be for a very long time right now.
Good. Perfection is impossible, right?
It's true, but it's crazy that we are still in this thing that started on with COVID or immediately after COVID that nobody wants to work.
Yes.
And the people that do want to work are
crazy.
you took my I tried not to say crazy. I tried to say unique, or I tried to say have their own crazy terms.
So here's one of the things I've learned for a
I
really
don't know
long
what's
time.
going on.
I've been doing this longer than you, and this is one of
Yes.
the things I learned. And it's funny because if you're a real estate investor, you get this. When you hire a contractor, right?
Yeah.
The first job they do is phenomenal.
Awesome.
It's like, wow, this guy, fell from heaven. This guy is the greatest contractor ever.
They try to buy you
Right.
as a
And-
customer.
Right. And then they do the second job, and they do a
Acceptable.
good job.
Yeah, acceptable.
And then by the third time, it's like, what happened to this guy?
On the fourth time, they don't answer the phone
And the first,
anymore.
yeah, they stop answering the phone. Yeah, it's really weird.
It's insane.
So, it seems like that is the way contractors are, and it's just always and always over and over and over again.
So you know that in Florida, I reached a point that I am trying to find a person that will be full position.
Yeah,
I am
full-time, but
willing-
I don't think that's a great idea.
I am willing to give a lot of money for a person that will work every day, 21 days. 21 days a month, and will bring home a very nice salary. And I can't get this person.
I know, it's crazy.
It's
So-
crazy. $50,000-$60,000 a year. People still don't want to work.
Yeah, I want to go back to just real quick what I said before. When I say contractor, I'm talking about somebody who does like the whole job. Like if you say-
Handyman, yeah,
If you say go in and do the entire, first floor of a unit,
correct.
they do a great job at first. But then we got these guys who are like, we talked about handyman Blake.
Yeah.
Blake the plumber. Blake the plumber is like my favorite.
Awesome.
Blake the plumber will go. I mean, last week we talked about it.
What
Blake the
time-
plumber was
what
4
time-
o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock. He was at Pottstown.
He fixed my plumbing leak at 4 o'clock in the morning. Blew my mind.
I know.
And he didn't even have to. The tenant. I already said to the tenant, look, we'll
Close
get
the
to it in
water, I
morning.
guess. Yeah.
But I just happened to text him. When I texted him, it was 2 o'clock in the morning when I texted him, thinking that his phone was off and he would get it in the morning. I just want to,
Yeah.
I want to make sure I didn't forget to text him. Right? He texted me right back. He goes, "You want me to go now?" I'm like, "Really?" I texted the tenant. The tenant said, "Sure," and he went out there. I mean, that's the guy. That's the guy who every single time.
So
Blake is the guy that you want
Yeah.
on your side every time.
I talked to.
But he's not doing full renovations, right? And so I think it's a different attitude when the guy is a plumber versus the guy is a full renovator. And you have him
Correct.
come in
So
because I got great HVAC guys. I got great
I know.
plumbing guys. I mean, I had an HVAC. I have the weirdest thing. I have one of these on-demand water heaters in one of my units.
Yeah.
These things are great, but there's a really weird thing. They have a vent, and somehow
Gas or electric?
it's gas.
Yeah.
And somehow the vent, when it gets really windy, every once in a while something blows down the vent into the thing and shuts it off. Because,
Of course, the flame. It take off the flame.
It doesn't take the flame off. It actually, because it's a safety feature.
There's a pilot. What?
No, it just shuts it off.
Really?
So if there's something obstructing the vent, it shuts the whole unit off.
So you need a flap at the top,
Right,
like in a
I
tractor
guess.
exhaust.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But this has happened to me twice in the last 2 years in the same place.
And what do?
And my
They come
contractor
and
goes out. He goes empties it and cleans it every time. But it's amazing to me that also this guy, he just went right down. The tenant called me last night at 7 o'clock. Hey, we have no hot water, and he hears a beeping coming from the hot water heater, which is the on-demand hot water heater.
Mhm.
I sent a text message to Rick, and Rick went down there this morning and fixed it. He was there before I got to the office this morning at 9 o'clock.
Awesome.
He's just great.
I know. That's the beauty.
These are the people that you have to have on your side.
And we have a great electrician.
Yeah, we have a great electrician, right?
Yeah.
Jay? Yep.
You need to understand
Right.
that those people are actually part of the school.
That's very important, yeah.
When you are a skillful handyman, electrician, plumber, contractor, and you come here to the school, the
get
amount
so much
of
jobs, yeah.
opportunity for work
Yeah.
when you are in a class, when you are in a school with is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But don't come here. Don't join this school just for that. I don't want people doing that.
No, of course
I
not.
just like if you're coming here to learn about money, coming here to learn about investment properties, learn about the stock market, learn about how to save more money in taxes,
Mhm.
learn how to build your business. That's what I want you to do. And the side benefit is you're going to get all this business.
Correct.
So we had some great success stories this week.
Success stories this week.
Yeah.
Tell me.
You don't know about success stories this week?
Tell me. You will remind me now.
Well, one of my biggest success stories was I finally rented my place in Lansdale.
Oh my God. I'm so
Yeah.
jealous.
I know. I'm going to bring that up because I want to bring
How old? No, I'm sorry, not how old. How much time it was vacant?
4 months. And
4
I've
months.
never had that. I mean, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 43 years, and I can't remember another time where I've had anything vacant for that long.
So 43 years. My question to you is: was it ever vacant for so long during the winter? Because everybody say it's this time of year, it's hard to rent when the snow is on and it's so cold, nobody moves. And yet, like you say, I've never had such a problem to rent a place for so long,
Yeah.
even during January, February.
I am shocked myself. I was shocked myself, but and I don't understand it myself. However, I sent you an article yesterday. I don't know if you got to read it.
No, I don't think so.
So I actually got this article yesterday on CNBC, and I think it's important that we discuss it.
Okay.
So the article is entitled, you ready? 2025 is a renter's market, housing economist says. Now, basically what's happening, and I read the article, and what it says in the article is they're saying that there's so many new houses being built and so many new rentals being built that it's taking longer to fill them and longer to fill for us to fill units.
Because people has more offers.
Because there's more choices, right?
Yeah, more choices, I'm sorry.
So they're actually calling it something called a renter's market. I've never heard this before. So it could mean that we're going to have to face this for a little while. Now, the other thing that's really weird is rents are going up because of these places. So some of these places are renting for like $2,500, $3,000.
I know.
And they're smaller than ours, and they're not that great.
So I think
But they're new.
We are entering a more high-end times, and we see it more and more. People are looking for more luxury environment. We saw it actually a lot in Florida, if you remember. Nothing was extremely fancy, but everything was a bit more than what we used to. A bit more in the molding. The molding is a bit more fancy around the doors. It's not the standard one.
Common,
Everything is a bit more. The granite looks a bit more expensive. Everything seems to be a bit more. And I think we are entering those times right now that people say, if the rent are so high, and we know the rent increased very much over the last 3 years, even 4 years, if the rents are so high, why won't I get something that will make me feel that I'm getting some extra for my money? Exactly.
I mean, look, so we have a combination of rent going higher. We have a combination of there's so many places. So it's interesting. It's just the opposite, and it usually happens this way too. This what usually happens when housing prices go up, right? And there's not a lot of housing sales.
Yeah.
Rent usually goes up.
Of course.
But right now it's not going to. So I'm finding that my rents are pretty much stabilized now. Like I did some heavy duty rent increases over the last few years.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do that next year. Now, I don't care. I mean, I'll still raise them $50. Even if I have to raise them $50, you get an extra $50 over multiple units. That comes out to a lot of money.
Correct, yeah.
Over 20 units, that's $1,000 a month. That's not bad. So, but it does take a while to understand that we're having a tougher time renting now.
Yes. I don't have a plan to increase maybe this year at all, I think. 1 year. Anyway, I try to increase every 2 years. But I'm not going, I think, this year to increase, especially for unit that I just fulfill. I just put tenants in.
Right.
Because I see exactly where it's going on. As you know, I'm a tenant myself. I don't own my own house. And I saw that on the end of last year, on the end of 2024, they did a very high increase.
They did.
Normally it's 2 to 4%. In October, they increased my rent in like $150. And I think they know what me and you know, and everybody knows, the increase.
You're not going to be able to get any more increases like that anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You got to catch up. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
You get what you get right now, and then you need to live with it. And I think this is where we are. So I think what I want from this show today is that if you are a tenant, as I am, and you want to experience your perspective of this market, and if you actually feel that this is a tenant's market, a renter's market, please call us and tell us what do you see from your side. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
And if you're a tenant, how about talking about that too? How about talking about your experience as a tenant and see if your rent has been increased or if your rent has been staying the same because of it?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Very interesting, right? By the way, we got a couple of people online saying hi. We got Glenn, who we haven't seen in a while, saying hi. We got Ed saying hi. A couple of people online saying hi there. Okay, cool. So if you're online, please say hi. And Kimmy says she misses Dr. Deb.
Okay.
This show just started, Kimmy.
Yeah.
How do you know you miss Dr. Deb?
Are we so
Usually
bad?
By now,
What?
now, she might not have said anything yet.
Yeah. What did we do so bad right now? What?
Really?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
So this Thursday, 2 days ago, you did a show about stock options.
Yes.
I think it's the best. It's the best explanation for newbies of stock option you ever did.
Really? Thank you.
I had hard time to understand stock options. Okay, and I just put it aside. I said I will never understand that. I will never get that because the opportunity to buy an option was the thing that blocked my mind. When you are selling an option,
Yes.
and you are selling the option to somebody, not that you own the stock and you sell option. You bought an option and you want to sell the option.
Right.
I never understood why a person will buy the option from you, which will bring it basically to the value of the current value of the option.
Right.
And now I get it. That was the thing that blocked me.
So he was
because
having trouble.
they want to
Right.
get the option again
Right.
for the previous price.
Right. So you're having trouble understanding like what we do with options. So we don't. What we do is we buy the option and we sell the option to somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's what we make money. So we make profit on selling the option to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole game. That's the way we teach it. That's the way we do it. We also teach something called sell. We basically sell options. If you own the stock, we sell the options.
Covered calls.
Right, which is covered calls, exactly. Yeah. And excuse me, I got a
Me
tough
too,
throat
yeah.
just today. I'm gonna grab a cough drop.
Okay.
So anyway, the other thing that we're doing is I'm doing something called a covered call challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So the last covered call challenge I did for 6 months, I turned $30,000 into $42,000 with 5 minutes of work every Monday morning.
Awesome.
So all I do is 5 minutes of work every Monday morning, and I turn $30,000 into $41,000.
Why are we dealing with real estate?
I know. Sometimes I look at it like, well, why are we dealing with real estate? So then I have another challenge, which is my newest challenge, which I put $50,000 in an account, and I'm selling the options on the stocks I have in that account.
Okay.
And I'm going to sell it every month. Last month, January, I made $4,675.10 selling those options, and I'm actually taking that money as income.
So what do you do if you lose the stock?
So hold on a second. I don't think I can.
We can't.
Think I can do the candy while I talk.
No, I can't. Put it inside and just leave it inside. Yeah.
Okay. So it's funny. the things you have to go through when you do a radio show live, right? You know, everybody else does their show. They record their show.
Yeah. Pause.
They make these. Pause. I got to put candy in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
But we do it live. Okay. The reason we do it live is so you can call in. How can they call in?
As long as it's a candy in the mouth, it's fine.
How can they call in?
855-939-1137.
I didn't say that. What was that?
855-939-1137.
What is that?
At 855-939-1137.
That's Kirk.
That's
855
insane.
939-1137.
See, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
I won't stop. That's 855-939-1137.
Is it a repeat?
Isn't that cool?
Oh my God.
939-1137.
So that's not me. It's actually me, but not me.
What
That's
is it?
855-939-1137. Today, February 1st, I'm saying 855-939-1137.
That's funny.
It's like I need to hold a newspaper when I...
Yeah, really. That's great. So now we could actually, we don't need you anymore. We can
Okay.
actually just use a recording of you now.
That's how you behave to immigrants in this country, I know.
I know, right? Exactly.
I'm used to it. They're exposed, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I have this. So the first month I took $4,600 out of this account, right?
Okay.
And then next month, so so Monday
Mm-hmm.
Monday, I will do it again. I will take another chunk of money out of the account or sell the cover calls again.
The first Monday of the
The
month.
first Monday of the month.
Yes.
And I have the options expire the last Friday of the month. And whatever that number is, I'm taking it. So I want to see how long $50,000 can last me.
So the 4,600 that you got
Yes.
is mainly for option that people haven't been.
I don't know, and I don't care. Some of them, they took the stock.
Some of them they took the
So
stock.
they took my AT&T and my Ford stock on Friday, yesterday.
So the
And
40
so I have to buy the AT&T stock back. I have to buy the Ford stock back
with what?
with the money I have in the account. They pay me to buy those stocks.
I get it, but now you can buy less. No.
Well, it depends on how high they go.
Okay, I
So
got
if
you.
they go up a lot, then I may have to buy less, but I'll probably be able to buy the same amount. Now, I'm going to go through this on Thursday. I'm
So-
not going to go through this. I'm not going to go through this here because it's too complicated.
Okay, I got you.
About how that account can deplete. Now, I don't. When I say deplete, it doesn't mean that I'm losing money. What it means is that I'm taking more money than I'm generating. But I'm using the exact number of selling the calls to take that money out.
It's pretty insane.
And I want to see how long it can last me. My guesstimate is this thing will last me. I'll be able to take money out of this account for probably between $2,000 and $5,000 a month. I'm just guesstimating between 3 and 5 years
Okay.
before it depletes. Now, theoretically, I'll be able to take money out of it forever. So with the $50,000, if I keep selling the covered calls and take that money out, theoretically it'll go on forever as long as the 3 companies that I have don't go out of business. Now,
Yeah.
most likely they won't go out of business. AT&T, Ford, and Rivian aren't going out of business, right? So as long as they don't go, Rivian is out of the 3 the most likely to go out of business, but not very likely to go out of business.
No.
But if out of those 3 companies, I just keep selling the covered calls, the real difference will be that maybe I won't get 4,600 anymore. Maybe I'll get 3,000. Maybe I'll get 2,000.
Of course,
maybe I'll
as
get
long
1,000
as the value.
over time.
Yeah,
Right? Over time.
correct.
So as I start hitting 2 or 3 years from now, I may not be getting 4,600. I might be getting 1,600. But I don't know. But theoretically, it'll go on forever. It's just the number will get smaller. That's the only thing that could change based on what I see.
I think you invented a very smart retirement account.
Absolutely, and that's why I'm trying to prove it. That's exactly what this is about. So I'm trying to prove that you can actually use stock options to retire off of by spending 5 minutes a month. I'm literally 5 minutes a month working on your account and retire off it. Now remember, if I had 50, now I did it with 50,000, right? Imagine I had $500,000 in there. That would have been $46,000 for the month that I would have made in January.
Awesome.
Right, exactly. So I'm gonna play it out. I'm gonna play it out for 6 months and give my results. So with these challenges and these experiments, I give my results every week because I want people to understand what's going on. It's just about every week. We talk about it in class.
I think I'm joining you.
You could. Debbie just joined me.
I think I
Debbie
will
just
join.
put 50,000 account, and she pretty much just mirroring me.
Yeah, I will do that. I will join you. I need to do all that. It will take me some time, but yeah. I think I'm doing it.
Oh, Kimmy wanted to know when you were doing Kirk, when you were doing his voice, you didn't have the sexy music behind it. You know, you didn't have the there it goes.
That's 8.
The X-rated movie music, the porn movie music.
What?
Porn movie music.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about porn movie? You don't know what porn movie music sounds like?
No.
I'm shocked.
In porn movie, you normally you don't have music.
Well, they do in the old porn movies.
Oh,
wow.
in the erotic one.
Yeah, no, I don't know about
Before
erotic,
everything became crazy.
but, yeah, like when
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are we still on the air?
We still are. They have not thrown us off yet.
Okay, good.
All right. So if you guys want to learn more about stock options, or if you have a stock account, if you have any stocks at all, see, this is the funny thing, right? Everybody counts on their financial advisor. Oh my God. Who steals from them between 1.5%, 2% a year.
Especially those who
their
sits
account.
in the bank.
What?
You know those that sits in the bank? The financial advisor that when you go to your bank and
Right.
they refer you to them.
Yeah.
I tried to go to my own one day and I basically I came out depressed. Yeah, because back then I wanted to invest in stock and I wanted to do that. And what he told me is, do you have a picture of your money? I said, what? What do you mean? He said, you're going to lose it all. Do you have a picture of your money?
Right. And
I'm like, okay,
that's why.
maybe that's not the
See,
best beginning.
And that's why when somebody gives me money advice, what's my next question?
Are you a millionaire?
Right. So I would have looked at the guy and go, hey, are you a millionaire? And he would have said, well, no. And then I would have said, thank you for telling me exactly what not to do. Okay? Because I'm broke and I want you to be broke with me. So please be broke with me. So I'm going to give you some bad advice that I've been using. That's the biggest problem we have.
You know,
Most registered reps, are broke. Most registered reps make between $50,000 and $60,000 a year selling products to other broke people.
can you say the same thing about real estate agents?
Yes,
I think so.
most real estate agents are broke too because
You know why?
yeah,
Because people tell them a story. And we hear the same story about money lenders. People want to be agents, real estate agents. People want to be money lenders. People want to be financial reps. All those professions because
When you say money,
somebody...
you're talking about mortgage brokers, not money lenders, because money lenders, if they have their own money and they want to lend that money, that's what we teach.
We have people
But if
that
peop-
come here
Right.
and they want to be money lenders.
They want to be money lenders or
No, they want to be money lenders because someone told them they will be rich in a second. And it's the same thing with real estate investors. They want to see the first check. They sold a house, they got 40 grand or something like that, and then they figure out it's not that easy, and they are not getting
it's not
so
that
much.
It's hard. It's just that it takes a while. So people think that investing in real estate is a lottery ticket. It's not.
No, people think it's a chicken that lay golden eggs. It's not.
Right.
It's not. And
It does lay golden eggs. They're just a lot smaller than people think they are. So every
okay.
month I get checks, or actually now it's Venmo or whatever.
Yeah.
But I get checks from tenants, right?
Correct.
And every month I get that. That's my golden egg. So that piece of property is my golden egg. I'm sorry, my goose, right?
Yeah.
Month it lays a golden egg. Maybe it's a $2,000 rent payment.
Yeah.
Right, and I use that money for whatever to pay the bills, and whatever's left I get to use for whatever else I want to use it
Yes, correct.
for. So that's what real estate investing is. It's the same thing, but what you were saying about real estate agents is real estate agents don't understand that being a real estate agent is not a job. It's a business. And most
Correct.
people treat it as a job.
What
And
do
they
you
don't
mean?
get it. They think that they're going to go to work for a real estate company, get their license, go to work for a real estate company,
The brokerage.
get leads,
Yeah.
and go sell real estate. It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
You have to go and you have to learn
How
learn
to get the
generate
business, yeah.
leads. If you don't learn how to generate leads, you're just not going to make any money.
Correct.
That's why most real estate agents make no money.
Yeah, who's calling you so much?
I don't know. Everybody's calling me.
Good. I hope it's from Florida.
No,
Yeah.
I can tell by the area code. It's not from Florida.
So-
If anybody wants to,
Call us.
I'm wondering if no, it wouldn't be.
Please
know.
tell me we haven't.
Well, so we had an internet problem earlier, so I'm wondering if the phone line had been transferred over.
Oh my God.
But that's all right. We'll find out.
So Larry is trying to fix the number that is 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. Call us to discuss anything you want about money at 855-939-1137.
Yes, and there's so many things about
It's
money
working?
that people just don't know. I think so. But
Okay,
I'm just
I hope so.
double-checking. I'm just double checking, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
Maybe. All right, well, keep talking so I can check it. No, I think it's good.
So I tell you something. You talked about chicken that lay golden eggs. I think we talked about that last week. I'm dealing with a problematic tenant right now.
Yes, I want to. So you need to tell this story. So,
Yeah, do you want to do a small commercial break before we go to that?
all right, let's do that. We'll talk about it. So, Omri's got a tenant that's given him a real tough time, and we're going to talk about that tenant and how Omri could avoid it, and how he's going to try to settle it. All right, so we'll see you guys in a couple minutes. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor School.
All right, back in 2 minutes.
Thank
to
you.
buy investment properties is? It's now. It's
always
always now.
now.
You just Always. need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class.
And the hard out is 58.
Okay. And make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right. And that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there. Investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows. And you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
All right, I like this music.
You're the best, man. You're just taking over the show, aren't you, Omri? All right. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I'm here with Omri Morad, my co-host and my partner.
My interrupting.
And
Co-host and
you're
partner.
interrupting the interrupter, the great interrupter.
Yeah.
You interrupted me again. I forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, we were going to talk about your tenant. So why don't you give this story from the beginning? Remember, when you give the story, Omri, no one on the radio has heard the story, any part of it.
And nobody's in my mind.
So nobody's in your mind.
Okay.
So you need to give them specific details, like you were explaining it to a 5-year-old.
So I have a unit in a townhouse in Norristown, and I have a tenant that moved in there at the end of 2021. Now, this house, believe it or not, was the house who titled me the worst landlord ever.
Closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry, me?
Yeah, you. Just a little bit.
Okay.
He's not close enough, or he's too close?
He's a little far away.
Too far away. Okay. So this is the house who titled me the worst landlord, with the previous tenant in this house, which of course caused me a lot of pain during COVID, with a tenant that was there for exactly a year. Believe it or not, I got most of the money at the end, not by her, but by all kind of organization. But the tenant that taught me a lot about how to be a landlord. A few months later, I got a new tenant there that came through an organization, and this tenant was there, is still there. Actually, he's still there as of today. We are talking about the end of 21, so 22, 23, 24.
What did they give you? They gave you the first month, the last month of Women's Security?
So in PA, there is there are many organizations. Almost all of them are being funded by the same pocket, which is an organization, a state organization called Your Way Home. And Your Way Home is willing to provide assistance to low-income households for up to, back then, I don't know if it got changed, but back then it was up to 18 months. So they provided assistance for the security, the first month rent, and I think it was 6 rents up front.
Wow, okay.
Okay, that's what they provide.
Hard to say no to that.
It's hard to say no to that, and I saw the signs with the tenants, but the tenant had no evictions in the past, no possessions, no nothing, and it seems like he was on the right track. The story was acceptable, and I was willing to get into this risk. And the other thing was, remember, I just had the worst tenant there, and I just had an empty house while I'm renovating 2 others. I wanted to occupy it. I was done.
By the way, that's a big mistake. Never make the mistake of, I'll just rent it to somebody so it's occupied.
Correct.
Now you get stuck with a tenant who's bad.
Correct.
And you're better off having an empty unit than a unit with a tenant in it that's not paying.
Correct. So during this time, this is, believe it or not, the third year that during November, December, and January, I have court cases against this tenant. Last year, I had to file 3 times because every time he paid what the judge refused to give me a possession. He gave me what's called a pay and stay. I will explain. A pay and stay means I want to get the money for the rent, and then the tenant can stay. If they don't pay, then you can file for possession. But unless unless I mean, in case the tenant pays, you can kick them off. You agree that they will stay. So last year, in the same time during the year, January, I had 3 cases because every time the day the constable was
I do
there,
remember this, yes.
they paid until the last cent.
Right.
And then I had to go and file again because by the time the constable came to tell them, knock, 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 you need to leave, they paid, but now there's a new month and there is more debt. And we were there, and last year what happened was the tenant appealed on the phase of the possession. I will explain. I went to court. It was a 1 month rent. I think it was lower than 1 month rent back then. And he didn't do anything with this. He didn't pay. He couldn't pay maybe. And 10 days after I got this judgment from the district court, I go and I file for possession. The tenant appealed the file for possession made by me against the judgment. Do you understand?
Yes.
I hope the listeners understand, but
Yeah.
if not, you're welcome to call.
So on what grounds do they appeal?
I would be so mad. So when you go right now, you can sign all kind of affidavit in the court of common pleas that are basically a shortcut. You don't need to put the judgment amount, for example, in an escrow because you sign a declaration that you don't have this kind of money and your impact have been affected, blah, 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 blah. You don't have the money to pay for filing fees, for example, for the case because this and this happened to you, this and this. Insane. So back then, again, it was a possession. He filed an appeal against the possession. Against the possession, there is what's called an emergency hearing. There was no hearing at the end, and the judge basically granted him 10 days. How do you call it? Gratuity period?
Grace period?
Whatever,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. And he got 10 more
Continuance
days.
is really the word, but okay.
Yeah, he got 10 more days, emergency thing.
Continuance, okay.
Yeah, and after the 10 more days, he actually paid everything in full. And that was, I think, January or February of last year. This year, he was smarter. And I am dumber.
He learned.
He learned. What he did is he actually took the judgment immediately after I got it. The judgment was for 1 month rent. So there is a thing with this tenant that I believe he has goodwill, but he has problem to show it. Every time, the day of the court hearing, he pays. Sometimes he doesn't pay everything, but he pays. And then when you go to the judge, you stand in front of a judge and the judgment is less, it's smaller. So we're there and the guy took the judgment, he waited a few days and he went to appeal the money. He didn't appeal the possession because there is no possession yet. The possession is only against the money. He basically appealed the amount.
Right.
And this is a problem. Because let's say that you sue me for $10 that I owe you, right? Me and you, we won't be in front of a judge for months. If we go to the Court of Common Pleas,
Yes.
we won't see judge for months because this is how back they are.
Sure, they're backed up, yes.
That's the problem. So this is the situation I'm in right now. He filed an appeal. He couldn't put the money in an escrow. He don't need to put apparently the money in an escrow because he signed this declaration. And until this case will be settled, I'm basically
SOL. I can't say what
yeah,
the
we
correct word
can't.
is,
I'm
but
basically
out of luck.
I'm basically a bolt in his house. So that's the case. This is where I'm at. Apparently, there are many things that you, a landlord, can do in order to, let's say, start a fire under the case and make it move forward. So I of course, hired a lawyer at that point, and I started to deal with the lawyer that taught me a lot about what needs to be done and how you need to actually write the complaint to the Common Pleas Court and how you need to submit it and all that. And the other thing is that, did you know that when you go to the Court of Common Pleas, you can add costs? Because now the whole case
Of course.
is
Yes.
reopened,
Yes.
which is something I knew, but maybe I forgot and all that. So basically, he wrote the complaint with all the damages, with all the aggravation that happened to
Yeah.
me, and he added there significant amount for all the aggravation and all the damage that caused to me by the tenant.
Good.
Now the tenant need to reply to that. More than that, even though they sign apparently the declaration, they still need to do partial payments, which is the best thing that maybe haven't been ruined yet in the Court of Common Pleas. They still need to show goodwill. So even though he didn't have to put all the money in an escrow, he only had to put a small amount in an escrow, he should still continue put those small amount in an escrow.
Meanwhile, every month that goes by, it's another month that he's not paying.
No, I learned that too. So first of all, by the end, by 30 days from the time he files the appeal, he needs to put 1 month rent in an escrow. And every 30 days from that point on, for the appeal to continue, he has to put another month rent.
And what happens if he doesn't?
The appeal is shut off.
Okay.
This is a requirement.
So it
as
sounds
long-
like after
yeah.
30 days, this guy's not going to come with the money.
Maybe.
After
Yeah.
30 days, you just go and you go for possession, you win.
Correct. So what will happen
So
is
he held you hostage for about 30 days.
I think it could be more, because the problem is the back rent, right? The problem is the back rent. So by in my case, by the middle of February, he will need to have the full month's rent in the escrow, and that will cover January. Okay, now we are in the middle of February, right? Then in the middle
And
of
to
March,
what day of February does he have? Like, because February 1st was
30 days from the filing.
So wait, but it's February 1st, right?
Uh-huh.
So if it's February 1st, how much time does he have to put February's rent in escrow?
It doesn't go that way.
Okay.
He has 30 days from the time he files. In my case, it's January 16, to put the full month's rent in the escrow
That's for January.
for January alone.
Right.
For the month that he appealed.
Okay.
Okay? And that doesn't include the filing fees and all those things
Sure.
that are coming from the district court.
Right.
So we're talking about only January right now. But the Court of Common Pleas, that's what amazed me. As long as the case being discussed, and until we get in front of a judge and there is a hearing, he have to continue to put rent in an escrow. And if he won't
And
do
that escrow
that,
is with the court?
it's with the court,
Yeah, okay, good.
Patanary office.
Good.
Yeah. So I learned a lot about that
So
thing.
basically, you've got 15 more days of this, and it's over.
We see.
Because he's not going to come up with the money. He's not going to put it in escrow.
Larry, I hear you. In the past, he always come up with the money.
Right, but now he's got to come up with more money because you hired an attorney.
Correct.
So he's got to come up with that money too.
Correct. Because one of the things you have to put in your lease in Pennsylvania, and we need to explain that. First is that if there is a hearing, if there is court costs, if there is fight from the tenant side against those court judgments, they need to pay all those expenses. That's very important.
On both sides.
Both sides, yeah. This is something we also discussing when we talk about. I forgot the document.
Confession of judgment.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Confession of judgment. And the other thing is, we need to always add a waiver for a notice.
Yes.
And
So
a
what you're
waiver
talking about
for
right
a
now-
notice. Yeah.
Right. So what
you
you're
can
talking about right
explain.
now is in Pennsylvania, you have to give somebody what's called 10 days notice to quit.
Correct.
And what that means is you give them 10 days notice that their lease is now void.
They're in default. They're in default to the lease. The
And
lease is over.
For any reason.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it doesn't have to be money. It could be that they've been too noisy. It could be
They have a
anything.
dog. Whatever.
Right. It could be whatever. Because
Yeah.
remember, I had a drug dealer in my unit
Correct.
and legal activities, and we caught him. We had him on ring camera video, and the police didn't do anything. So the police didn't arrest him. Actually, they did, but they released him. And then we said, okay, fine. I don't want this guy in my house anymore. And we went to court, and I won based on the fact that he was a drug dealer. And the judge said, fine, go. You have to go. The guy paid his rent on time. I'm like 4 days all the time.
So that's the thing. I think I will be I'm not a psychic, but I believe I will be in the same position. I believe that next month I will be in a point that maybe I will have all the money. Because history told me with this tenant over the last
So
4
now,
years,
you get all the money. What are you going to do then?
it's a very problematic question to ask a landlord with an empty unit in February.
Well, yeah, but okay. So now you get all the money in February, right? What I would do,
Yeah,
as soon as I got all the money, I'd give him a 10-day notice to quit, even though it's not in your lease.
yeah,
I would give him a 10-day notice to quit. I'm sorry, you have 30 days to move out. You've broken the lease. Your rent
Yeah.
has been late quite a few times, and habitually late. I might even say, and now I want possession. You're not even suing for rent now, because you just gave you all the rent. You're suing for possession only, and you want him out.
You know who I ate the most?
Who?
Myself.
Why?
And I will explain to you why. Sometimes things can be more personal for us.
Yes.
Sometimes things hurt us more, especially if we showed good interest for somebody else. And basically they...
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And that's the problem.
There's an expression in America:
Okay.
no good deed goes unpunished.
Okay.
Right. So you do something nice for somebody, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't. They either say that you did it for other reasons, or then they go ahead and they punish you, like this guy, right? You let him stay there for another year after he messed with you the first time. You let him stay there for another year,
And here I am.
and here you are.
Yeah.
No good deed goes unpunished.
That's the thing.
Right. So now, to me, I want this guy out.
I
don't
agree.
care. I just want you out.
So I want to tell you something.
And every time, by the way, every time
Yeah.
I said to myself, I want this guy out, and didn't do it, I regretted
You regretted it.
Yes.
So that's why I declined the tenant, if you remember, on the flight back from Vegas. Why? When you have problems, communication problems mainly, because communication to me between landlord and tenant is everything. When you have communication problem at the beginning, before the lease have been signed, and they don't understand simple actions, simple instructions, you should let those things go. I will tell the story. So I had a tenant that was supposed to move in, and at the day of the move-in, they also being supported by an organization. Of the day of the move-in, there were tons of arguments. The argument was over them taking the utilities. It was over providing renter's insurance. Is over the fact that they won't be able to move in until the check would be cleared.
Yes.
Because
they hand-wrote the organization hand-wrote a check.
no, it's printed, but it's not a cashier check.
Right, not
They
a cashier,
print
right.
it in their office.
Right.
All those things, and nobody tried to provide any answers. The organization tried to put the tenant in the front. So I think it's smart, so the tenant will learn how to do those things on their own. So the organization won't be there forever.
Okay.
They try to push the tenant maybe to independency. I'm sorry. So that's why, and that's why I basically walked away, because the tenant was so aggressive, and I said to myself, this is the tenant that will call me at 2 a.m. shouting because of a broken cabinet knob in the
Yes.
kitchen. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want
You
to.
want people who appreciate.
I want to deal with
good home that
tenants.
you give them.
Exactly. You remember we talked, I think, last week about my tenant in Delaware County. That she came from Delaware. I don't know if you remember the story. And she was late for quite a while. I think since November. She all caught up and she paid everything with the late fees and all that. But the first thing that happened is that during November, she sent me a picture of her daughter in the hospital bed.
Right.
You remember I showed you the
Yes,
picture
yes.
and we talked about all
Yes.
that and all that. We are human beings. We are not animals. Unless my kids are starving on the street, right? And I will try to be understanding and helpful to everybody I can, but sometimes people take advantage.
Absolutely.
And we know who take advantage, and we know who have goodwill. And that's the thing.
Yeah, and that's a judgment call. You meet somebody, like you just said, this person was arguing and wouldn't put the insurance, and you're like, you know what? If I'm gonna have this much trouble now, I know I'm gonna have a lot of trouble later, right?
Exactly.
Where
And-
the other day I rented to somebody, and they were so grateful for me to rent to them that they actually gave me a hug. because they had some problem renting to other people. And I looked past all their problems, and I said, okay, I think you're a good person. I'm going to rent to you.
Correct.
And she gave me a big hug.
That's the way it needs to be. People needs to be thankful for the opportunity. And
Right.
of course, it shouldn't be a fight all the time.
Exactly. And it was and it's both sides. It's like, I listened to her,
Exactly.
and she had, and she had an issue, and I listened to her, and I said, okay, I understand the issue. Let me see how I can help, and I did. And at the same time, she was grateful for me for listening to her and helping her.
We are not bad people. And we are not
We're only good people. We're not bad people at all. We're good people.
And I want to say that to every legal judge or court or anybody who hear me, we are not Russian oligarch. Okay? It's very important. When tenants don't pay us, it put a lot of stress on us because we can't maintain the house.
Yeah, remember
We
that.
can't pay the insurance that are double what we use. The maintenance or replacement or repairs that, believe it or not, are also double what they used to be. All those things are cost so much more right now. So when a tenant don't pay us, we are under a lot of stress.
Yeah, we work on a slim margin per unit.
I agree.
And when one person doesn't pay, that affects the margin of all the other units.
Correct.
'Cause
Because
if,
it's the
you
same
know,
business.
Right, because if I've got 5 units that I'm making $200 a month on, and 2 people stop paying, now it's costing me $2,000 a month instead of making $2,000 a month.
We are talking about that. I actually forgot to mention the loans.
Right.
Right? Because we have mortgages on our
Absolutely,
properties.
yes.
So 1 month that the tenant don't pay, it's enough to cause us a big
Right.
problem.
And I called the bank and I said, hey, listen, the tenant, is having a hard time. Is that okay if I don't pay you?
Yeah, exactly.
And they were like, no.
I'm not sure the bank will be understanding in this.
Yeah,
position.
exactly. So you have to be able to understand. You have to balance it. It has to be about being kind and also at its being firm.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell people the same thing. Rent's due on the 1st. On the 2nd, it's late. On the 5th, it's a $150 late fee. And on the 15th, I file for eviction. Now, listen. Your grandmother died. You're in the hospital. You got into a car accident. Call me. I'm going to send you flowers. But on the 15th, I'm still filing for eviction. Do we understand each other? And when I have that conversation, and when I look at them in the eye, I look to see their reaction.
I think Debbie had a tenant up north that when she told her this sentence, she backed out.
Yep.
The tenant was ready to
That's
move
right.
in.
They're right.
She was ready to move in. But when she heard this sentence, she said, it won't work.
Right.
Which was
Exactly.
amazing to me.
Exactly, which is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I had people, I've been doing this for 43 years, and I've been using that line for probably 40 of the 43 years.
Yeah.
And I've had the craziest reactions to that. I had one person goes, my last landlord didn't file for 2 months. I said, I'm sorry, this is not for you.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to rent to you. I mean, it's insane. It's like, and some people will say, I've never been late. Okay, great. I'll never be late.
So why would you be worried about something like that, right?
Right. And then you have the people and they test me. They test me, right? So and it happens all the time. The first time they pay the rent on time. Second time they pay it, maybe it's on the 3rd. Next one, it's on the 5th, which is the next day is the late fee day, and then it's on the 7th.
Correct.
And then I get the rent on the 7th, and I send them a text message. Listen, the rent was due on the 1st. After the 5th, it's a $150 late fee. Please send a $150 late fee. And no matter what they say for the excuse, and it's always something. It's always like blah 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 blah.
I
It doesn't even
understand,
matter.
but yeah.
I respond this. Okay, I will waive the late fee 1 time. But please understand, I will never waive the late fee again under any circumstances.
Correct.
So what do? The next month they pay it on time. Then it goes to 3rd. Then it goes to the 7th, and then they do it again. And blah 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 blah. I'm sorry. Remember the last time we spoke? I said I would never waive the late fee again. Please send it immediately. Or if you don't send it immediately, next month's rent, the first $150 of your rent goes towards the late fee first, which means that your rent will be late again, and you'll owe 2 late fees. So I suggest you send it right away. And no matter what they say, nope, I'm sorry, you're sending a late fee.
I had a big argue with a judge about that. Because, so what this judge, what she basically said is that when a late fee applied, the late fee just stayed there. I don't need to take it from the next month's rent.
Of course you do.
And I completely disagree with her. The tenant wasn't there, actually. The tenant sent her free lawyer
Right.
to argue that. And I mean, I got what I got from the judge, and I was happy. And the tenant was out anyway, and I was done.
Yeah, typically that's what you try and do anyway.
I have another question.
But that's
for
why
you.
you got to. That's another reason why you got to go to court right away. Because if you have 2 or 3 or 4 late fees, the
Yes.
judge will say, "Sorry, she's only paying 1 late fee." I'm like, I'm sorry, she signed a contract. I know, but I'm a judge, and I could void your contract.
Yeah, I'm not sure
No,
the
that's not how
bank.
things work.
Yeah, the
I'm sorry,
bank
Your Honor.
won't
That's not how it
charge
works.
me a late fee for.
Yeah, I got you. Thanks.
Yeah, the bank won't charge me late fee only for 1 month of late payment on my mortgage, right? It will be a late fee of every time I was late on my mortgage.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not sure how it works here.
I don't understand it either. It makes absolutely no sense.
I have one question before we go to commercials.
We're not going to commercial. We're going to end this section,
And then we go.
and then we'll get. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You can say that. Okay.
So I have a question for you. I know today everything almost is electronic. I don't get any more checks, but still sometimes a check does arrive, especially with organization. You know I work with a lot. How do you determine if the rent is late
I go by the date it was postmarked.
on the envelope?
Because I used to do this a long time ago when I used to get checks.
On the
I used to open up
envelope,
my
yeah.
mailbox and I have all these checks from all these rents, right?
Yeah.
And I would go by the postmark. So if somebody sent me a check and I didn't get it to the 20th, but it was postmarked the 4th, I all this time I'm communicating with them saying I haven't got the check, I haven't got a check, I haven't got a check. But I say as long as I get it and it's postmarked before the 5th, I'm okay with it.
Okay, I got you.
Because it's not their fault.
I agree.
But Venmo and Cash App and PayPal,
Best way.
that's great. You get the money right away.
Yeah, 2 days.
And they can't stop payment on it.
They what?
They can't stop payment on it. Once it goes to your account, they can't stop payment on it.
So I had a very, very weird situation, but maybe we'll discuss it in the next hour, that Zelle declined. So a tenant called and did a big fuss because they paid their deposit.
Right.
As you know, we signed them on a contract to hold the apartment, and they called the bank and they did something, and Zelle took the money back from my account.
Really?
As long as it was pending, and I was amazed. I didn't know this possible. Yeah. We can also talk about how Section 8 takes money out of your account.
Guys, gotta
Exactly.
go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, listen, I want to thank everybody. You guys are awesome for listening. We love it when you guys listen every week. We're here, of course, every week from 1 to 3. We do 2 shows, so we'll be starting another show right after this one. And I want to thank the audience. I want to thank Omri for being here, for telling some great stories. I want to thank Kirk Corliss, who's the cool Kirk Corliss, right? That's what we call him, for being our superstar engineer today.
Producer.
And I don't want to thank any of the callers because nobody called.
Okay.
You know why? Because this other show, keeps them from calling. They're still schooling. Anyway, if you want to go to Investor Schooling, go to investorschooling.com and take a free class. That's investorschooling.com.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements
All right, back at 2:30.
those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power.
Sour, you got to get out at 58. At 58.
Live.
Musical over.
Yeah.
Tune in tonight starting at 7 p.m. for the
I
Bob
didn't
Head.
get it.
What'd you say?
No, because it's got to be at 58. Like at 58. You can't, because you went
At
over
58, we go 59 and a half.
98.1.
It's the morning woman again.
It's going to cut
Wait,
close.
hold on, Kirk. I'm confused by what you're saying.
Now Taxes is using
58.
58?
58.
How did
Yes.
58?
Yes.
Since when?
Right in Credit Karma. Now,
Since, because you got like 2 minutes for, there's like 2 spots and there's an ID.
What?
And
We
then
always do
there's the
59 and a
goes
half.
into-
Always.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I usually have like a little bit of buffer, but I just want to I don't want to keep.
59 and a half, man. I'm out of 59 and a half, always.
Okay, all right. I must
All
have
right?
forgotten.
And you should start music
the
playing
phone
like
up
at
immediately
59.
or throw that
You should
mail-
start music playing in case we're not paying attention to the clock.
timeshare resort
Okay, I can do that.
Okay?
group assistance with your
59.
timeshare.
Yeah,
As
59.
only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company. Our knowledge, experience, and results has made
Yes, of
Wesley
course, give me
a
this another
trusted
hour.
resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get
Why
out of
am
their
I signal
timeshare. Give us a
locked up
call,
now?
and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-329-2121.
It's free.
800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. Local news can come at you fast. Want the latest on what's happening in your backyard? Download
All right,
the
hold on,
free
everybody. We've got
Odyssey
another
app.
hour to go.
Follow your local news station, and you'll get alerts on the top stories making headlines
It's a nice
in your
day out or
city.
something. Nobody's
You can
watching.
stay in the
Nobody's
know,
listening.
no matter what you're up
So
to.
it's
And
very
be
nice
out.
today, but it's
down
very
when
windy.
news breaks. Plus, keep
gotta work on
tabs
your
on
car.
weather and traffic, so
Let's
you're
go.
never caught off
You can
guard.
do that after the
To
ball.
get started, download the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY, and follow
Here we go.
local news station.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right, everybody, good afternoon and welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. We are broadcasting live from Investor Schooling headquarters right here in Bucks County. That's right, we actually have our own studio right here in Investor Schooling. It's actually pretty cool.
And we are not mobile.
And we're not
There-
mobile.
Yeah, there is a new thing. You remember in the intro they said that they have a new mobile studio.
Really.
Yeah, Kirk, are you in a
It's actually a
van?
really neat thing to do.
Yeah.
No,
Kirk,
I'm not in the van.
you are not in the van.
She's-
Okay.
He's
No, I'm not
in
the van.
Philadelphia.
A nice warm studio on
Really?
2400 Market Street.
Anyway, I am Larry Steinhouse. I am the CEO of Investor Schooling, and I'm here to make financial education fun and accessible to everyone, including you, especially you.
Thank you.
Anyway, on this show, we discuss several ways of making more money. We just concentrate on real estate investing, stock options trading, the stock market, and how to maximize your retirement funds. We teach you how to stay away from what product?
Annuity.
Annuities. Stay away from
Annuities.
annuities. Don't let these annuity guys take your money, give you no money return on it, and charge you back end fees if you change your mind.
And also shows with passports. Sorry.
And by the way, you can call us anytime with any question about anything.
At 855-939-1137. Please call us 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. What are we going to discuss with them when they call us?
Whatever they want to discuss. They bring
Okay.
up the topic.
Okay.
So that's really cool, right? So you bring up the topic. If you want to talk about trust, I'll talk about trust. You want to talk about real estate, I'll talk about real estate. You want to talk about the stock market, I'll talk about stock market.
Politics?
You want to talk about my favorite President Trump? We could talk about my favorite President Trump. I mean, anything you want to talk about, you're welcome to talk about it. We're also live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And please leave a comment and say hello so we know you're watching. So if you're watching, please leave a comment.
I want to tell you, you know I'm Israeli.
Oh, you really?
And I don't know.
I didn't know that. I thought that accent was French.
From French, yeah. People told me I'm French.
You look French.
Not Vivek, but yeah.
You look
So-
French, but you don't sound French.
It's fine. So when you say you look French, because French people don't shower that often. That's
Yeah,
what you mean.
that's why
with-
you look
okay,
French.
I got you.
That's because your beard's unkept.
I need to handle
Because
that.
your beard's
actually.
unkempt, you look French.
Yeah. So what are we talking about?
I don't know. You said you said.
So I'm very happy with President Trump right now, even though I'm not sure that if everything that happens is actually him.
So you
and
did. You interrupted my intro. You know that, and you went right into a topic, which is okay with me. But I just want to let everybody know that
I
if
need
they
to
want
remember
go
that even though it's a second hour, it's a single hour. I'm sorry.
You still have to go through the intro, but that's okay. No big deal. I just want to let you know that Larry Steinhouse Show is brought to you by Investor Schooling. At Investor Schooling, we teach you things about money I'll bet you never knew.
Mm-hmm.
We focus on practical learning, and we will equip you with real-world skills in real estate investing, stock options, tax savings tips, and the secrets of financial freedom. Our headquarters are right here in Bucks County, but our online courses teach eager investors all over the country. You can RSVP for a free class this Thursday night at investorschooling.com. Listen, if you haven't gone to Investor Schooling yet, you really are missing out. You need to come here, come in person, and you're going to learn so much. Okay.
How much it cost them?
It costs them to show up on a Thursday night?
Yeah.
It's free.
It's free!
It's how much?
I think it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Which is awesome.
I mean, we have so many people like, how much does it cost? It's free. How much does it cost? It's free. How much does it cost? It's free.
This is how dedication, how much we are done with people that think that money is one thing and they have no idea what they are talking
absolutely.
about.
And money is just, it's a tool. You need to learn how to use it. Most people have no idea.
Correct.
You know, it's like they use a hammer to put a screw in a wall.
Mm-hmm.
That's what most people are using with their money.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you how to use a screwdriver with the screw. All right, now you were talking about Trump. Go ahead, tell me about. What
No,
you were talking
I'm
about
just
Trump.
I'm just happy with everything that's going on right now.
Oh my goodness, it's 2 weeks.
What?
And the guy's on fire.
Who?
Trump.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about everything he's done.
Okay.
He's ended discrimination. Ended it. He's completely put an end to discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's unbelievable by getting rid of the DEI policies.
He didn't do it. I know he did it, but for some reason, some states don't accept that.
Well, those are called Democrat states.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can, because if it will go to, you can go as high as federal court and you will lose.
So you have to be careful what you say because I'm not sure what you mean when you say can a state have DEI? Yes.
If a state,
but the federal government will not.
Okay, so it's only for federal positions.
Right, federal right. But if a state, so the other thing that he did was he stopped the nonsense of boys being girls and girls being boys and boys.
No.
Wait.
He stopped the fact that people can be both or none. That's what he stopped. You can still.
But let me explain. So like there are the boys that would put on a girl's swimsuit.
Yeah.
And and tuck their stuff in, and they would swim and they would beat the girls in swimming.
Okay.
Well, Trump said if you do that in schools, we're no longer going to fund schools. So boys will be boys, and they will go in the boys' locker room, and the boys bathroom, and girls will be girls, and they'll go in the girls' locker room, and the girls' bathroom. And if you don't like it, we're going to cut off all your federal funds.
I'm not sure I'm aware of that. What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by federal funds?
No, what do you mean by
So
like
a boy who says I'm now a girl wants to go in the girls' locker room. Sorry, you're not allowed.
But how I do it without being kicked out? So what do? You need to go into you take
I don't care
pills,
what you
do
You're
the
a boy,
surgery.
You have boy parts, you go into the boy parts bathroom.
Unless you go and do the surgery and take off your boy
I don't
parts.
even know if that's still going to work. But I don't care.
Okay.
And anybody who does that, that's mutilation. And if you're 18 years old and you want to mutilate your body, go right ahead. But if you're under 18 years old and your parents allow it, that's child abuse.
That's crazy. I didn't know this is allowed.
Oh, you didn't know about this?
No, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that girls could go in the boys could go in the girls' bathroom beforehand?
Not like that. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I heard about tampons on the men's bathrooms.
Yeah, with Tampon Tim
Yeah.
Like Kamala Harris said, I need to have a running mate who's worse than me.
No, that's what caused her the election. I think.
No,
it was too extreme. It was.
I mean,
just,
it's like she just wanted to prove that there could have been somebody worse than her.
No, but I didn't know they allowed that in school, that a boy can go into the woman's bathroom.
As long as they identify as a woman or a girl.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
Okay. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
you didn't know about the girls, the man girl?
The sports.
Competing
about
in
the sports I heard. The only thing that you just enlightened me is about the fact that it can happen in schools.
Yeah.
That's
where it was happening.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course it's insane.
Yeah.
It's a mental illness. And it's a mental illness for the teacher to allow it to happen.
So I must ask you, if we still have states that will basically said we are not going to comply, like I don't know, Massachusetts, New York, right? What will happen?
They can do anything they want, but if there's federal funding, Trump will cut off the federal funding. That's all.
Okay, so they won't get the money.
Rely on federal funding.
Okay,
and if they're gonna let boys compete as girls in girls' sports, Trump's gonna cut off the federal funding.
Yeah, okay,
and that's fine. I agree.
Listen, let's put God aside. Okay, I want to put God aside.
Okay,
I want to talk about nature. Okay, let's talk about nature, evolution. Right? How can it be that a person? It's fine. Be whatever you want. I whatever you want. But
sure.
I don't need to change anything from my side when I look at you and you are a guy to me, or I look at you and you are a girl to me. I don't need to feel blame. You get what I'm saying?
So
I don't need to feel like I'm doing something wrong.
So somebody can pretend to be a woman if they're a man, but I don't have to pretend with them.
they can be whatever they want as long as I can still see them as what nature created.
Well, you could do whatever. You could see them or not see them, but at the end of the day, if you know it's a guy in a dress,
Okay.
you could refer to him any way you want, him or he or she, but you make that choice, not him.
Okay.
And that's the way it should be. That's true. That's exactly what they say. You have to respect me. Well, you have to respect me too. I see a guy, so I'm referring to you as he.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? If they will correct me, I will address them as a she. Maybe with a smile on my face.
So I don't know if I would.
But I will, and I don't care. I don't
know if I
care.
would. So I have a friend. It's not really a friend. It's like somebody I see. You know, you remember you met the guy.
Yes, I did.
Guy. So he goes full out with the dress, and I mean it just the guy.
The dress and the bodysuit.
Yeah, and he wears a bodysuit, so he has breasts. Which, by the way, I heard now he's getting breast implants.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I always refer to him in front of other people, in front of him and in front of other people. I say he. I say, you know, he's been doing this for a while. Blah blah blah. He this. I never call him she.
Okay.
And he never
corrected
me.
you. Okay, awesome.
All right. And in fact, he's hysterical. I mean, it's a fetish, whatever it is. I don't know what it is with him. But, you know, whatever it is with him, he enjoys it. That's his life. I don't care. He's a really nice guy.
It shows a lot of confidence in a human being.
Yeah, right. He's a really nice guy. And, you know, he attracts a lot of attention. He attracts more attention dressing as a woman than I attract when I wear my jackets. For example,
yeah, I agree.
Right? I mean, one of the first days I met him, he came up to me, he goes, you trying to get some attention with these jackets? I look at him and I go, not as much as you. You know?
Of course.
And I only know him by his female name. I don't know him by his male name. His female name is Gwen. I don't know him by his male name. But I don't have a problem.
You don't know what it is?
I think it's Peter or Paul, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't care. If you came up to me and said you want to be called Gwen from now on, I don't care. That's fine with me.
So I tell you
but I'm still going to call you he, not she.
It's fine. I tell you where the problem starts for me. We were in Six Flags. I think it was maybe Massachusetts, a year ago. Okay, and we are standing in line, and we reach we are first in line right now, and the operator has a tag on her shirt, and under her name there was today referred to me as her she.
Right.
And this her she section, it's like a Velcro or something, or a magnet that she can basically flip to he. It was just weird.
Yes.
Now, my daughter, I think, was 7, and she didn't get what it is.
Of course.
So she asked me, and I didn't know what to say.
How do you even explain that to a 7-year-old?
I don't know. So she asked the operator. She's a teenage.
Oh, no.
I don't know. She asked the operator in a very naive way. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the operator was like, it means that today I'm a she. And my daughter say, as a 7-year-old, what are you tomorrow? And she got a bit upset or offended. I found it funny because, you know, it's those things that funny, kids say without referring to something.
Sure.
But it was funny. I found it very funny. I think funny. The woman, I mean, the operator, I don't know if it's a policy of Six Flags or whatever, but I found it weird that I need to be, I'm being forced to be in this position that I need to explain to my daughter why this nice lady is a she only today, and tomorrow she can be a. That's the problem.
Well, tomorrow I'm a cat.
I'm not sure you can be a cat.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I could be anything I want.
Okay.
According to that thing. All right, we're kind of like way off.
We are
off on politics. Not politics, but on whatever. But you know, this is all because Trump has finally said he put his foot down and said enough of this nonsense, and I'm so happy he did because it's ridiculous. The nonsense is nonsense.
If he will do what he say that he will do now, which is basically open the borders for the Palestinians to go to Egypt and Jordan, I will be his biggest fan.
When you say you don't mean open the borders, you mean
open the borders.
You mean send them. Oh, you mean from Egypt to Palestine? Oh,
so you know that everybody say that the curfew in Gaza, right, is because of Israel.
Yeah.
Nobody asked about Egypt. They have a border in Egypt, and the border is closed too.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, but there is a situation here with a population of few million people that nobody wants.
Right.
Nobody wants.
Because they're terrorists,
It's
most of them.
ridiculous. I don't know. Many people came many hostages are coming back. Right, not many as the terrorists are being released, but many hostages are coming back right now, and everybody has almost the same message to the people. What they say is, don't think for a second there is innocent people there.
Okay. Good.
We are being kept by families. We're cooking for them, cleaning for them, living for them, and we were still hostages for those families.
Right.
Are they terrorized? Are they afraid? I guess they do, but in a way they.
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome is when you fall in love with your
captor.
Yeah, with your captor.
Right, and you give excuses for them.
No, but I'm saying something else.
Completely the opposite.
They being kept by families,
right?
Not by terrorists with guns. Sometimes,
right.
Sometimes it was.
But they're saying that all we had to do was cook and clean. No, I'm sorry, but that's called slave labor.
It's insane. It's the stories that come up right now from the people are pretty crazy. Yeah, everybody worried about Dr. Deb. Everybody asked where Dr. Deb is.
We got somebody on X saying send Palestinians to Jordan.
Yeah, so that's what Trump is working on right now.
Let's do this. Give the phone number because I'm shocked that
nobody called today. 855-939-1137.
Come on, we must have sparked up some kind of conversation.
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137.
Yeah,
One more.
Somebody call us and let us know that the phone actually works.
So, Dennis, if you're listening to us, we started a discussion in the end of last week's show about the market and landlord-tenant. I'm not kidding. I found this discussion very interesting. So please call us. 855-939-1137. We'll be very happy to continue this call.
All right. Let's talk about something to do with finances.
Do it.
All right. So we talked last show. We talked a little bit about the covered calls and the covered call challenge and how I made $4,600 my first month on $50,000. That wasn't even. It was it's not even there's no risk to it, which is kind of neat. So you can actually make this kind of money with no risk. What are you doing? You calling somebody?
I'm just checking.
You checking what? He's on the phone. Omri, in case you didn't know, it's a radio show.
No, I know.
You have to be present.
I know, I am present. I just want to see if the number does work. That's all.
Oh, you actually called it?
Yeah.
Did Kirk answer?
I got the message that you are being connected to the.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
But you shouted at me when I tried to test.
You should tell me you would do that. You should have put it on speaker and put it next to the phone. So put it next to the microphone. Had some fun with it. And said, "Hey, Kirk, it's me testing the phone."
Hold on. You will be connected to Larry Steinhouse shortly.
We're seeing if it works. I wonder if Kirk's just not going to answer the phone on purpose. There's nobody answering the phone. No wonder it doesn't work.
Hello.
Nobody's answering the phone.
Hello.
Oh my goodness! Oh, we actually got Dennis from last week on the line. How cool is that?
It's very cool.
What's up, Dennis?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Good.
I forgot what we were arguing about last week.
We didn't argue. We talked, and it was a very good discussion, actually.
What was it about?
Can I preface this with please don't jump down my throat? I'm on your guys' side.
Dude, I love jumping down people's throats.
No. There are no sides here.
Okay, but I tend to agree with you guys. So
okay.
I was really caught off guard last week. Maybe it was because it was the end of the show and I was talking too slow. I don't know, but
right. So this is what it sounded like, Dennis. I'm gonna just give me 1 second because I want to preface this call. So you said that we can't pick tenants based on their character, right? And my brain immediately.
The law prevents that.
No, that's not true.
The law
does not prevent that. I could pick tenants based on their character anytime. I can't discriminate.
The word character is the problem.
No, the word character is the only thing that makes any sense.
But character can be the person color, and it also can be.
No, character is not color.
Okay.
Character. That's the problem. So character is not a color.
In 3 sentences. Can I try and explain this in 3 sentences?
Please.
Omri is a good landlord. Omri has 2 rules in choosing a tenant. I coerced him into one of them, which is paying on time. But maybe he does have only 1 rule. I don't know. But he probably has 2 rules.
Okay.
Every rule that's added on top of that is a lawyer fee at some point.
Okay.
If Omri is the pinnacle of what it means to be a good landlord, he doesn't have dumb rules in who he picks as a tenant. He
That's not
keeps
true.
a clean place.
That's not true. I have rules of who I pick as a tenant. You want to know what the first rule is? You ready? They're nice
Sure.
people.
Okay. Why not? If they're nice people,
Yeah.
then you have a contract. And the contract, like you guys always say, says don't destroy the place, pay on time. If you don't, you're out.
Yep.
And you agree. That's a simple contract.
But if I have two tenants in front of me and they both have identical credit scores and they both have identical incomes, and one is, I want this place now, and the other one is, thank you so much for giving me this place, I'm picking the person who says, thank you so much for giving me the place. That's character.
Yes.
That's it.
But you can't put it in writing, Dennis.
Let me rephrase my question then,
Okay.
Larry. As someone who is not a lawyer and not a landlord and doesn't want to be a landlord.
Right. You know why you don't want to be a landlord? Because you're
doesn't
scaring yourself out of being a landlord because you don't understand it.
No, Larry, I'm not. I know you're a phone call guy. I get that. I'm
What
not
does that mean?
interested in that work.
But go ahead.
That's
Go ahead.
what you say. You're a phone call, which I agree. That's what a landlord.
Oh, you
should
mean I
be.
make
They should
phone
be a
calls to
coordinator.
have like the things fixed? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, people get fixed stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that work. I'm just not.
No. Okay. Fine. So go ahead. So what is your point? Then?
I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to be. I'm not a landlord. I don't want to be.
Right.
Then explain to me why it seems so complicated legally to be a landlord and live off your reputation.
So I don't understand the question.
I think
You guys every week talk about all these rules that seem to frustrate you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about that either. So we have lots and lots and lots of properties, and every once in a while we talk. So we talk about good things and we talk about bad things. We give the truth, right? So today, Omri talked about
you
one of
talk
his
about
tenants.
Good things. I'm not saying you don't talk about good things. I learn a ton of stuff from you guys. I think you're hilarious.
Thank you.
I think you're informative. Definitely opinionated. So am I.
Thank you.
I like people sharing their opinions. I like people talking out loud. I don't like trying to figure out what people are thinking.
Right, but part of your problem is you
I
have
guess-
opinions based on no facts. You've never been a landlord.
Yeah,
You've never
so
been.
I'm asking you.
Right. So when you say, "Can I pick somebody based on character?" The answer is yes, but I can't pick on somebody based on race because that's called discrimination.
Okay, Larry. So that's kind of what I'm saying.
Okay.
You can't
know.
I picked him on character to court.
I don't agree with you about that. If a person, I'm sorry, I was in this position, Dennis. If a person hang up the phone to my face, and when a person shouts at me or curse me over text messages, I show that in court to a judge before to show the person character. This is their character, and this is something that I'm showing in order to basically say I don't want this person based on his character as my tenant.
My worst 2 tenants.
And
tenants in the last 10 years were white.
What did you say, Dennis?
Larry, I've yet to bring up race. I have yet to mention anybody's skin color.
No. He's joking. Leave it.
It's true that my worst 2 tenants.
I agree.
My worst 2 tenants in the last 5 years have been white.
What are you saying, Dennis, again?
But what else were they, Larry? They were rude. They were obnoxious.
That's
they were
right.
bad
Correct.
tenants.
That's correct. So that's character. That's somebody's character.
Larry, what generation? Larry, what generation are you from?
What generation? I'm 61. You tell me what generation I'm from.
I don't know. If you were a kid when
That'll make me a
JFK
baby
died,
boomer,
you're a boomer.
right? That'll make me a baby boomer.
Yeah, so you're a boomer.
Right.
You guys had this problem with identifying who's a racist and who's good and who's bad and who's cheating.
I
and
don't
who's
have
lying.
that problem. I think Democrats are racist,
no,
and I think people who
didn't-
call black people
Larry.
African Americans are racist.
Larry, I said your generation has that problem.
I know
You
about
might
my
not,
generation,
that's
the
fine.
generation before. How old are you?
You guys had okay, fine.
How old are you?
My generation,
Dennis, how old
Gen
are you?
X, doesn't have that problem.
How old are you?
We
What-
watched you guys wrestle with this problem.
How old are you?
We don't. How old am I?
Yeah.
I'm in my very, very late 40s. I'm a Gen Xer.
Okay.
Okay.
You jumped
We
to a
don't-
lot of conclusions, Dennis, and
we-
it's kind of rough. But go ahead.
Okay, you're right. I like to simplify things.
No,
Like,
you jumped to
I don't know
conclusions.
anybody of my generation.
You're Archie. You're like Archie Bunker, but the other side.
I'm a simple guy.
Okay.
Omri sounds like a good person. He should be able to. And Omri, thank you for that. I did not know that you could go to court and say that, and that a judge would actually find in your favor. I really didn't.
We
know
need
that.
to understand that we have normas as human beings. Okay? When a person curses you, instead of telling you, I'm not happy with what you did, it's a problem. This is against the norma. We should have social normas. And I believe this is something you can put in writing in your lease. But every normal,
I agree.
Every common sense human being, yes, including a judge, will of course be able to look at that and say, this is something that showed me.
But you
that the
can't throw somebody out because they cursed you out. You can't. They have to have another reason for throwing them out. I mean,
So-
if somebody cursed me out, I first of all, I go off the handle every once in a while. You know that.
No, I
right?
have a sentence in my leases that declare that the tenant, I don't remember it like specifically, have to be communicating properly with the landlord. It's a standard lease,
But
and
if
it should do that.
if the tenant says F you every word in their mouth,
Yeah.
then you could use that against them. I don't think a judge is going to let you win that one.
I'm not sure he will let me win that one, but if this is the person that I'm dealing with, maybe this is why the communication is so problematic.
Listen, I've had tenants, curse me out.
Yeah.
Usually it's a misunderstanding, and very quickly they learn that doesn't work with me.
Yeah.
But, then we work it out, just like anything. I mean, you and I we're partners in this mobile home park.
Yeah.
You and I have had flat out battles over the partnership, and an hour later we're best friends again.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same thing, marriages or anything else. So I'm not evicting somebody because they're going to curse me out. But if they're not paying their rent, and then they curse me out because they're not paying their rent, I don't really care that they curse me out because they're not paying their rent. I care they didn't pay their rent.
I'm not sure I agree.
Larry, if a landlord, if a different landlord, for whatever reason, doesn't want to be cursed out, it's a religious reason. They don't like foul language. It's
They're gonna have a tough
traumatizing
time. They're gonna
from
have a tough time
childhood,
evicting
or-
somebody on that. They're gonna have a tough time evicting somebody.
Listen,
on that.
you end the lease.
but when
You
I-
find a reason to end the lease. You end the lease. You
I
send a notice
understand.
to
But-
quit.
But the point is, you can't end the lease because the guy cursed you out. If he threatened you, yes.
So here, guys, here's where I don't understand this.
Okay.
Omri just said you find a reason in the lease to end it.
So Omri is making a mistake by saying that.
Okay.
Because I'm not
but
finding
that's
a
what
reason in a
everybody
lease to
does.
make. It has to be a real reason.
No, it's not an excuse.
It has to be real.
Normally, when you are in this position that the tenant start to curse you, it's against something.
All I do is hang up.
I get you, but it's so for you. You don't feel it.
course I do.
You go to the next thing.
Yeah.
To me, there is a reason. Let's say that the tenant right now broke something in the house. They broke the handrail. They broke the washing machine. Something happened, and it's on their fault, right? And I tell them, you broke it. You need to pay for that. And instead of accept that, they start to curse. normally with a person that will come to you and say, and that's a very good example, listen, I understand, I can't pay that right now, I don't know what to do.
Go ahead, they curse, and what do you do?
I can deal with it. When a person said, like you said, F you, I'm not paying you anything, blah, 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 da, da, da. Okay, no problem. So the lease say that you need to pay for things that you break. Now you're in default of the lease.
Correct.
And you use this.
But
yeah.
But I'm not throwing him out.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Go ahead.
Can I ask you guys a question as
Sure.
landlord?
Yeah.
And someone who does know human behavior? Omri, on your example, let's say this is maybe like the second time that you've heard this person like really unload on you.
Okay.
And they happen to use cursing.
Okay.
And you have experience as a landlord. Maybe it's your fault why this happens. I don't know. Who cares? But when someone acts like this, your brain says this usually leads to damage in my apartment. I'm going to cut this off at the head. This person doesn't seem well to me. I don't want them in my property.
Your hypothetical situations are tough to answer. And that's the problem here. You're making up hypothetical situations.
I will answer. I don't believe that everybody immediately after cursing me are going to break all my windows. No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, same here. And if they do, they're going to go to jail.
Do you believe they're going to get
That's
vindictive?
vandalism.
Do you believe at some point they may get vindictive because you've argued frequently over the years?
I hope they will. I hope they will.
Right, you're not funny. So
I'm sorry, but I hope they will because it will be very easy for me if they did it intentionally to fight them. So and I won't fight them, actually. The insurance company.
They take a sledgehammer to the kitchen, for example.
Yes, correct.
Two things. One, they go to jail, and two, my insurance company covers it.
Yeah.
So actually, believe it or not, what he said is correct. I hope they do.
We try to avoid those situations, Dennis. We don't want to be in those situations. I talked an hour ago. I'm sorry. I talked an hour ago about a tenant that I decided not to rent because of their character. Because they shouted, they hang up the phone. It was all very aggressive. And you know what? I had to drop the rent $400 in the last 3 months to find tenants. I had to drop the rent. I don't regret it for a second.
All right.
You need to deal with people that are acting as human beings, that you can deal with. And there must be norms on our life to dictate how a human being should behave.
So, Dennis.
Yeah, so, Larry.
Go ahead.
Larry, wait, real quick. I want to start my sentence with, I believe if you're a racist, you're stupid. You're making a decision to get in the way of profit as a business person. That's dumb.
That's actually true. But
left or right, I don't care. That's dumb. Right. If my decision making process on people's character develops a pattern, like if all of a sudden Omri, who cares, only rents to people from New Zealand, that's weird, right? Like, and we all can start to pick up on that pattern. But I don't think that other people should be cherry picking and just digging into every little reason a landlord makes to protect their property until there's a pattern. Maybe I am crazy. I don't know. I don't know.
So I'm going to tell you what I think, and you're not going to like it. I think you've acted like a racist so many times that you're trying to prove that you're not.
No, Larry. I'm devastated you think that way. I understand that racism exists. I understand that racism is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Larry, I have gotten blood drawn defending people because I'm the only one standing up for them in a bad situation.
You ever hear the expression, I'm not a racist because I have black friends?
I did not give that example, Larry.
But that's what it sounds like when you and I don't know why it comes across that way, but that's what it sounds like.
That's not the example I gave, Larry.
No, I know you didn't. I know you didn't. But that's what it sounds like when you talk.
Listing accomplishments.
No,
If
I
you
don't
want
need
me
you
to
to
start
do that.
listing,
You need to just do whatever your heart says. It doesn't matter to me. You know, if somebody's a racist, they could be a racist. If somebody doesn't want to be a racist, they don't have to be a racist. As long as they're not harming me or anyone else, I don't really care what their thoughts are.
And it's not.
It goes back to the same thing with the he she's.
And it's not about generation.
Me neither.
I think it will be and it will stay in every generation, because if you're being grown in a house with racist parents, there is a very good chance that you will grow up racist.
That's true.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, that was my grandmother was the nicest lady on the planet, but she had a horrible, horrible opinion of black people.
See?
And it was just nobody taught me that.
And you know what?
It was
when I was a kid, when I was small, like 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, my mother had a cleaning girl, and her name was Mamie, and it was a black woman who used to clean our house. And this woman used to like treat me so well. She would bring me candy when she came,
Mm-hmm.
and this was my experience with I want to say people of color. I don't know, whatever you want to say. And that's what I grew up on. And I lived in a block where there were race riots, and it was horrible. And and my parents had us move because of the race riots. But I never saw anything more than this wonderful woman who took great care of me when I was a kid. That's it. That's all I ever saw. I never saw anybody as, no matter what they were, color, it doesn't matter where they came from, whatever. I never saw anyone until I start talking to them and they prove to me that they're complete jerks, or they're racist in some other way, or they're bigoted in some other way. Until then, I have nothing. I remember. I got a great story. You'll like this, Dennis. You'll actually laugh at this.
okay.
I was at a favorite pizzeria of mine, and I'm getting a couple of slices of pizza. This many years ago, and this guy next to me, waiting for the pizza to come out. And this guy next to me is telling me about the fact that he fixes cars, and he's got this shop. He fixes cars. I got a couple of cars. I'm like, hey, that's great. I said, I have a car and it has this problem. I start explaining the problem to him. And then he starts going into other things while waiting for it. He says, yeah, sometimes those Jews come in, and when those Jews come in, they sit there and they argue about how much the money is going to cost. And I really hate dealing with the Jews. Obviously, he didn't know I was Jewish, right? And then at the end of the conversation, I just was polite. At the end of the conversation, he goes, hey, when are you going to call me about your car? I said, you wouldn't want me as one of your clients. I'm one of those Jews. And that was the end of it. And he walked out.
Yeah.
Because, that's just what people do. If they're that dumb and they want to have conversations like that, that's fine. But you want to be so I give permission to anyone out there listening to be a racist. I think you're dumb. But if you want to be a racist, you can. You can do whatever and say anything you want. Just don't say anything to somebody. Don't harm somebody. Don't hurt somebody. And don't be my friend. You want to know what I think the most racist thing you could call a black person is? There's the N-word, but I'm not even going to go there. It's a very common word. It's a very common phrase, I should say. Not even a word. It's 2 words. It's a very common phrase. You ready? The most racist thing you can call a black person is African American. Would that freak you out, Dennis?
I think it's. I think that's the opinion of the person who wants to be called something, but.
Well, let me explain. If I walk up to somebody who I've never met, and they're black, and I say you're African American, that's racist. You know why?
I know.
You know why?
It is, because they're not all African.
Right, because I'm assuming just because they're black, they're from Africa.
It doesn't matter.
That is racist.
Yes,
and if it's a 20-year-old African American that probably
from Africa,
born here, right?
No, and if they're born here, they're not African American.
Of course, they're not African
American.
American.
Right. Well, Larry.
Yeah.
There's one thing that all racists have in common, and that is an obsession with race.
I don't know if that's true either, because I don't know any racists.
You don't know any?
There is.
No.
There.
I don't associate. Let me put it this way: I don't associate with any racists. Anybody who gives me a racist inkling, I just don't want to talk to them. That's why.
Yeah,
that's why you're borderline for me. That's why I
keep
keep trying to figure out if you're a racist or not, and trying to come up with excuses that you are or you aren't. But you're doing a really good job hiding it if you are, and to other people, not to me.
No.
And if you're not, you're doing a really poor job proving you're not.
Larry, I taught a management program for a national company. I'm not going to get into it. For 10 years. In 2 instances, somebody used the C word regarding a female in the classroom. Somebody else used the N word. I immediately removed the person from the class that was either, in one instance, was accused of it, and the other instance
but what
it
does that have
happened
to
in
do
the class.
with whether you're a racist or not? That means you're a
Larry,
smart
let me
manager.
Finish.
That means you're a
Larry,
smart manager.
Let me finish.
You take too long to get to your stories, man.
Larry. Okay, fine. I'll cut to the chase. At the end of the day, I got in. Those 2 people, I kept my job, but I got pulled into an office to get yelled at about that because I stopped it. Because
What does that have to do with racism? That has nothing to do with racism.
So
What
what's your point?
That's poor management.
What's the point then? Is that the management was racist because you pulled out of the class maybe a black person?
No.
No.
The point is that he wasn't accepting that in a room that he's in, which is right. And then the management said there was a problem.
The only thing that you mentioned and that you talked about here is the fact that the only people that I think that are being allowed to be racist are the people that always claim that everybody are racist against them.
Those are the biggest racists.
And
all
that's the
racists
problem.
Are obsessed with race.
Exactly. Exactly. No. Now I agree with you.
Yeah.
You know who is obsessed with race?
Who?
You know?
Racist.
Racist people.
Right.
They are obsessed with race.
When they complain.
And they are obsessed with race because they believe that everybody are racist to them.
Correct.
Everybody are racist to them.
Omri,
Yeah.
Omri, if you go to a medical doctor who prescribes drugs, and
Yeah.
you have a back pain, what's he going to prescribe? Drugs. If you go to an acupuncturist, what's he going to do? He's going to stick a needle in your back.
Okay.
Correct.
If you're going to go to a weight doctor, he or she's going to tell you to lose weight.
Okay.
All right. Listen, Dennis, I appreciate you, man. If you're a racist, stay away from me. If you're not, you're welcome to call again.
No. Just come this Thursday and we'll continue.
Larry, I'm going to say this and then I'm done. Honestly, if you think I'm a racist, I can't listen to your show ananymore.
No.
I don't know if I think you're racist. And I'm being honest because if you don't listen to my show, I wouldn't notice anyway. And I just want to be sure that's true. I don't know if you're racist. You have some of the things you say have a tendency to make me believe it, and then some of the things you say have a tendency to make me not believe it. So I'm gonna take
Larry,
for the benefit of the doubt.
That's a problem with me.
No, I'm not sure we understand.
That's a problem with me.
I'm
Larry.
not sure we 100% understand the point of the point that you try to bring in.
Right, and I still don't.
That's
see
the
it.
only thing.
This all started with me saying if there were less rules, it would be less expensive to rent.
Well, I don't know, but that's not doesn't make sense either. But let's do this.
I'm not a lawyer.
We're going around in circles. I appreciate you. If you want to
have
keep listening,
another
great.
caller,
If you
and-
don't, I got to get to another caller.
And
but
please
thank you,
come.
But I appreciate you calling, my friend.
And you are invited
All right?
to Investor Schooling, so please
Yes.
come here on Thursday, and we'll be very, very happy to meet you in person.
And we won't call you racist in person, all right?
Never.
It was a joke. You're supposed to laugh. I think we lost him. All right, let's go to Cynthia. What's going on?
Listen, guys, I'm enjoying this program so much. I'm in the kitchen cleaning, and it is so funny, these conversations. But I just wanted to make one statement. I am an African American woman, and I want to say that there's only one race, and that's the human race.
Yes.
Thank you. And all lives matter.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yes. Listen. That's what makes racism so crazy, because there's only one race, and that's the human race. And when any of us bleed, the blood is red in every race on this earth.
Oh,
that is correct.
Oh, you filled up my chest with air, clean air.
And listen, and the reason why I'm an African American is because my descendants came from Africa. So the race is not the color. The race is your origins, where your bloodline comes from, and my bloodline comes from Africa. Even though I'm as white as maybe you guys are, because I'm a light-skinned African American, but I'm still a descendant from the African people. So
Right.
And just correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
You don't want anybody to treat you differently, good or bad, because you are African American according to what the society dictates. You are a human being as much as everybody else.
And that's true. And if you, to me, if you look at the origins of discrimination, I'll call it that instead of racism. It's really discrimination. Discrimination is based on the roots of it is jealousy and envy.
Absolutely true.
And superiority.
Yep.
Superiority. Like, how can you, a lesser person, have more than me or
Yep.
equal to me because you started behind the line. I started in front of them. I started the line. You guys started behind the line, but yet you're gaining up on us, and we can't have people of color be more successful than people of non-color.
Oh, my God.
It's all about economics. It's about economics. It's not about the shade of your skin.
It's about economics. It's about religion. It's about thoughts. It's about culture. It's about everything. You're different than me, so if you're different than me, you must not be as good as me. That's the problem with that's racism in a nutshell. And to me, I can't even fathom any of that stuff anymore. I just don't even want to.
If you go to the Arab countries, those people are darker than most black people. But if they have money, it's not about.
Exactly. Right.
Racism.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to know who?
I love the station. I'm going to hang up because I'm cracking up at everything you guys are saying.
Wait, you got to hear this, right? You got to hear this. Somebody on YouTube said, "Hey, gents, I thought this was a money show." And you know what? Chris, who wrote that, who cares if it's a money show? It's any show I want it to be. It's the Larry Steinhouse show. I can make anything I want. And if Cynthia wants to call and talk to me, I'm going to talk to her. And if Dennis wants to call and talk to me, I'm going to talk to him.
Exactly.
And my favorite caller so far
is you. You just enlight the day for us. And that's awesome.
To the person on YouTube who said I thought it was a money show, like you said, it's your show. You can make this show anything you want it to be because it's your show.
And it is a money show, and I think this subject related to money too.
It's also related to money.
Believe it or not.
Yes.
Yes. Because try to figure out what I'm saying.
You guys are really making me laugh. It's so interesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much
Cynthia.
for calling.
We so appreciate you listening. We really do.
Yes, and we'll be very happy if you'll join us.
Yeah,
in
come
class.
one day and meet us.
Yes, come for Thursday class. Go to.
I know you can have trouble with Omri's accent.
Come on. Come on. I will tell you something, okay? Listen, hear me out.
Yes.
A blind person won't see a successful black or white person. Okay? He won't see any. If you will look for something, you will find it all the time. My wife has a sickness with the number 22. So she see the number 22 always.
Right.
I don't look for the number 22. So I don't see it. People that say that you can't find a successful African American or black person, they are liars. They are liars.
We have so many people come to our school.
And they are so successful.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't get it.
White, Puerto Rican, black, Chinese. Who else? I go down a list of people we've helped, and it doesn't even matter. I don't even think about it.
Doesn't care. It's just.
You're the only problem I have. You're the only person I have a problem with.
Is the immigrant. That's why they put the D before my name. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we have another one.
We got Roscoe. What's going on, Roscoe? Is it Roscoe?
Hey, good afternoon.
Yeah, we hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, I've got a few points. First, the number 22. That's the luckiest number I ever had. That's my mother's birthday.
Okay.
There you go.
So,
so you also see it all the time.
About this race thing, I'm just glad we're going to go back to Martin Luther King, where all people are created equal and equal opportunity, and get away from this DEI stuff. That separated people, in my view.
Absolutely true.
Martin Luther King was right on, and equal rights for everybody, and I go with that. And we did get away from Martin Luther King's views, I think. Even some black people went a little bit over, but not just black people, but they went a little overboard with this DEI. Anyway,
Of course.
but I really want to ask a question about what do you think about the volatility of the stock market in regards to, I don't know if you're following this, but NVIDIA, and, it was the jewel of the stock market up to about 2 weeks ago. And
Not for me. If you came to my class, you would have heard every week, you would have heard me talking about NVIDIA saying, stay away from this, stay away from this, stay away from this, stay away from this. My buy price is 80.
Yeah.
My buy price is 80. I kept saying it over and over again.
Really, 80?
Yep.
That's interesting. That's what I was curious what you thought about that.
My buy price is 80. Now that doesn't mean that you're going to hit 80, but I won't buy it until it does.
I have a question for Larry. 1 second. Yeah. Have you bought Bitcoin when it dropped from 100 or no?
No, I will buy Bitcoin when it hits 50.
50? Okay, I got you.
And what happens if it doesn't hit 50? How much money do I lose?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's my point. My point is we have the specific way that we teach how to buy stocks and how to buy stock options.
No, I asked because I was pretty sure that you said back then you will only go in when it will drop under 100.
No, under 50.
Okay, I got you.
Under 50. NVIDIA, I might get under 100, but 80 is my buy number. I mean, I might buy to 90 or 95, but still, NVIDIA to me is 80.
Okay.
Did you notice how Jensen Huang, the CEO, put the kibosh on quantum stocks? They were flying. I was in them. They were flying high until he came out and said they're 20 years away, and then that crashed the quantum hype. But then a week later, China they open source DeepSeek large language models, and that tanked NVIDIA.
Yep.
So it was kind of poetic justice in my view.
So were you investing in all these stocks?
I was in quantum, the quantum stocks.
So how much of your portfolio? How much of your portfolio was in these stocks?
It wasn't much, but I only had a couple hundred shares, but they quadrupled, and I did quite well. Now I feel the party's over.
The party's been over.
That sector, but
the party's been over. The party's been over a long time ago.
They're trying to bring it back. Well, what do you mean? For a quadruple, that was a pretty good party.
Yeah, did you take your money and run?
So, yeah, I did.
Perfect. Because that's one of the things we teach, especially with stock options. We teach people to take their profit and go. If you ever come to investor schooling, you'll actually see these conversations. And what we do is there's a section where the stock option consultant comes up at the end of the night, and we literally go over stocks that people in the audience pick.
We have a rule. We have a rule that we keep repeating in class, especially about that.
What do you mean?
Nobody ever
went broke taking a profit, but that's
Correct.
not the point. But what I'm saying is, if you want to go over stocks, come into investor schooling and give us some stocks, and we will definitely, absolutely go over the stocks with you. By the way, do you know who my favorite motivational speaker of all time was?
Me.
Nope.
Louis Rookhauser.
Who?
Louis Rookhauser.
Nope. You mentioned his name a little while ago, and it was on my mind to bring it up.
Do you know who he is?
No, but I'm trying to stay focused over here. Who do you you mentioned his name? The most famous motivational speaker. Actually, the reason I believe I became a motivational speaker was because of this motivational speaker.
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King Jr. Yep.
Really?
When I was young, I was young in school, we were approaching MLK Day, and I actually wrote a blog, and the blog was entitled "Why I Hate MLK Day." You know why? And once you it was supposed to be clickbait, but once you read it, you understood that the reason was I used to love watching the videos. For a week before MLK Day, they used to play videos of him over and over again. I was so into it. The way the guy spoke, the way he talked, the points he made. It was so clear and crystal to me, and it was so great to me that I hated MLK Day because they stopped playing him.
He was a great man. I mean, that's why they made Martin Luther King Day. He was a great man. And
absolutely.
He still is a great man because he lives with us.
Absolutely true, and you're right. And everything that he wanted now exists. If you go back and you listen to the speeches, everything he asked for it now exists. The I Have a Dream speech, it is all real. It all existed. Whites and blacks marrying, people living together, no one caring, and that's exactly where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what Trump just did by ending DEI, because DEI was a complete mess. All it did was bring up racism and make racism.
Correct.
There's one problem that I would say some people they still don't get it. Like even some black kids and stuff, they don't believe they're equal, and that's where the problem is.
It's what they see at home.
That's exactly right.
It's what they see at home, and it must end it.
The parents have to stop repeating racism. And if they stop repeating racism will end completely.
Yes.
But it's mostly gone now. And I'm really glad to say it.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore beside the people that wake up every morning and try to find those symptoms. And because they're trying to find those symptoms, they find them anywhere they want. Right. Anywhere they want. It's like the number 22. This is exactly where I'm going. Because you're looking for something, you will find it. You didn't get ketchup with your burger in the brown bag at Burger King because you are black. Not because you didn't ask for it from the seller. It's because you are black. This is awful. Awful.
And the most racist people are the people who claim that they're helping helping minorities.
Correct.
And it amazes me when the things that they say, it comes out of their mouth.
Yes.
And they don't even know it's racist.
Mm-hmm.
But we did the whole racist thing today.
It was a racist
we didn't
hour.
do a commercial. That's how much.
Yeah.
That's how much we. When we're almost out of time.
Yeah. People need to call.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Can I say one thing?
Of course.
We got maybe.
You know who? You know who gave the best quote? The best quote about racism? Rodney King during the LA riots. He said, "Why can't we all just get along?"
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. Anyway, I got to kick you off, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for calling. This was an interesting show today. It was all about racism.
Some of it, yeah.
That's okay. It's my show. I can do whatever I want.
And
right?
let someone say that it doesn't matter what color you are, you can still have the same success stories.
Yes. Now, I'm not sure if we're supposed to be out now or supposed to be out late, but I'm going to go on like it's normal, 59:30, because I'm totally confused. I'm hearing the music in the back, so I'm completely confused.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll start to say thank you to everybody because, again, totally confused. I do want to thank Dennis. And Dennis, if you're not a racist, fine. If you are a racist, that's your own problem. But if you're not, and I assumed it, and I told you already, I apologize for calling you if you're racist. But, just be careful on how you maybe express yourself. Cynthia, you were wonderful. You were hysterical. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Roscoe, of course, thank you again for calling. And, of course, Kirk probably was in the background going, wow, this is a crazy show. It's not about financial all the time. And he took your call today. I thank you for doing that. Omri, I thank you for being here because you are awesome, too. And everybody knows that Omri is the immigrant. The immigrant.
Yeah.
The immigrant. And, of course, if you want to go to Investor Schooling and learn actually stuff about finances, go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. Take care, everybody.
This program is paid for by WPHT WOGL HD3 Philadelphia from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios. Powering.
Sorry about that. I jumped the gun. That was my fault.
That's why I was all confused. Hey, Kirk. So, what do you think of that show?
OMG.
So I have a question.
Is that crazy? Hold on one second.
Sure.
Somebody wrote DEI equal DIE.
Right.
I'm not sure I